Have you ever thought, can I learn fingerstyle guitar? Well, I think you can learn fingerstyle guitar right now, even if this is your first lesson. So please stick around to the end of the video, because whether you're a complete and absolute beginner, you've played 3 chords for 20 years, or you have a bit of fingerpicking experience, this little basic tip may give you a fresh perspective on some simple chord progressions and where you might want to go creatively next time you strum through some chords. We're going to get started right away, but real quick, I just want to thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. And as always, if you find any value in this content, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And visit the links in the description to help support my music. All right, let's get started. So for this lesson today, we're going to use my song Palm to Pine that I recently released as sort of like a foundation for learning this technique. And it uses 3 basic chords. First of all, capoed at the 3rd fret. So if you ever want to play along with this song, by the way, go ahead and watch the video, find the song on any of your streaming platforms, and you can play along with it. It's 3 basic chords. Once you're capoed, it's the G shape, it's the F shape, and the C shape. And those kind of cycle around, and we change the chords slightly to make it a little bit easier and to build up texture and that sort of thing. But maybe you can take this technique and apply it to songs that you play that use, other basic chords like this that are sort of repetitive and maybe kind of like in a folk style, So this can, and if you do finger pick a little bit already, maybe you can kind of like meld this technique with some stuff that you already do. But it's a basic technique, and this is kind of what it sounds like. It goes like this. And then that kind of loops throughout the verse and that sort of thing. And in the chorus, it even gets a little simpler. So the way that you do that is I'm holding down the 3rd fret on the 6th string, 3rd fret up from the capo, and I'm plucking that with my thumb. I like to plant my palm, or this part of my palm on the guitar for this style of technique. It just, it's not, I'm not going for a super clear note. It's a little raw sounding. So, you can kind of adjust that to your liking, but you have that 3rd fret, and then the 4th string open, I'm plucking with my index finger. So you have thumb, index, 3rd fret, open, and then you're going to mute. Then you're going to kind of slap the strings with your thumb. Some people use their full fist, but you're trying to hit these lower wound strings against the neck. So like that. So we have thumb, index, slap, and then you play your index again right here. So when you do the slap, you're going to come down and try to grab that string and pull up. So you have thumb, index, slap, index, thumb, index, slap, index. Let's do this for a second. Alright, so there you go. That's like the main technique. That's kind of like the foundation of the technique. And if you're a drummer, you're familiar with drums, that slap's kind of like where the snare would be, that sort of thing. So then if you want to go through and you want to play that G shape, F shape, and C shape with that idea, and we're going to make it real simple, is after you play the G, you're going to go G, I'll call this the G shape. Then we're going to go down to the F shape, but just this 1st fret on the 6th string, and you play that same pattern, thumb, index, slap, index, and then you're going to go to the 3rd fret up from the capo on the A string and do that same pattern, but now your thumb's on the 5th string, and then you go back to G, or the 3rd fret up from the capo on the 6th string. Alright, so let's start this, and we'll kind of play through it a few times together. And really, if you wanted to, if you wanted to play along with the song Palm to Pine, you can play along with the whole song just doing this. Although there are some small variations, which I can show towards the end. So here we go. This is how it would be real slow, starting on that 3rd fret up from the capo on the 6th string, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. you go. So that's, like I said, that's the kind of the chord progression for the whole song. Now, if you were just strumming a song with a G and then do an F shape, you know, you could kind of put this in place of it. G, F, and C, kind of like that, right? And this is sort of in the background. So you see how you can kind of do the same thing, the same chords, just tweak it a little bit, and you get a sort of a different vibe. And you could do one verse one way, another verse another way. And then if you wanted to get a little bit more complicated from there, you can pull all these three, and I like to pluck these three strings. So you go thumb, and then second, third, and fourth strings. But you could do two strings also, and you could strum at this point. There's a lot of variations on it, but if you wanted to get to that next kind of level up, it'd be like this. So same idea, just with a few extra strings added in on that, where your index is normally just by itself. So kind of cool so far. And I'm playing this with the chords with the G. I'm playing the sixth string with my thumb, and then the second, third, and fourth strings open with the F shape. All right, I have my first finger right there on that first fret, and then the third string, second fret. But I'm still plucking sixth string, and then second, third, and fourth. So it's sort of like a variation on an F chord. And I do the same thing with the C. It's a C chord, but without your middle finger. C shape, right? And I'm plucking fifth string, and then second, third, and fourth. It's kind of like a C add 9, sort of. So it's a finger picking variation, and then a variation on the chords, which doesn't change the function of the chords. It kind of just changes the flavor of it a little bit. So we have that. And then one more level, if you wanted to go even further, would be this kind of thing. And this is where the chorus happens. And it's the same chords, same chord shapes, but on the F, which is first fret, and then third string, second fret, you have this kind of thing where you go. So the F chord, you have, instead of just strumming here and going, you know, kind of like this, which is nice, that's great. If you wanted a variation, you know, you have this kind of thing where it's, and it kind of opens it up for a second. So think about that. That's another thing you can try out. These are just some good basic fingerstyle kind of picking techniques that are all built off this one pluck, mute. A pluck and a mute, you know? Even if you do that to start off, that's a good way to start. So pluck and a mute. Work on your mute, get your mute down. You know, that's sort of a good thing to have. And every guitar is a little bit different. Everyone kind of mutes in their own sort of style. So, you know, take advantage of that and spend some time with it. Pluck, mute. Really, it's about doing less. You know, sometimes when you learn, you strum a chord and you learn how to hold the chord and you strum it and you're strumming all the strings real full and everything. And really, it's unnecessary. Sometimes you got to do that, but a lot of the time you just have to let it breathe and open up a little bit more. And this is really the epitome of doing very little, you know? The less is more type of thing. So go with that, see what you can do. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thanks for viewing this again. Check out the song Palm to Pine on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, all those different places. I'm on Bandcamp if you want to buy the track. Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel. I'll see you next time, and have a good one.